today we are taking a journey to the world of L'Artisan Parfumeur, to a unisex fragrance brought to us in 2009 by the perfumer Bertrand Duchaufour, and that fragrance is Oud. Now, I was first introduced to this fragrance. This fragrance was brought to my attention by a subscriber of mine, Cornflake81, and I can't remember what you said, man, but he sent me this 10 ml decant of it quite a long time ago, quite a while back, and he said something like, you know, it was just like a heavy fire, burning fire type smell or something, and he couldn't wait to see Amanda's reaction of this stuff. Well, my friend, you're in for a treat, because at the end of this video, Amanda is going to give you her thoughts on it, and she actually wore this for a full day. Now, thanks to you, I have found a fragrance that I thoroughly adore. Definitely another one in my top 10 list for sure, so much so that I actually went out and scored the bottle. So I have the bottle, and it's a rather beautiful one at that. So I will show a close-up of that now. Okay, here's the bottle up close. It says Oud on the front there. Each glass pane has got a decorative border that goes around it, kind of fancies it up a little bit. On the back here, you've got, it says L'Artisan Parfumeur. The top is nice, metal, solid. It's got the logo on top there. Just a beautiful bottle. One of the prettiest bottles I own. And of course, there's the box. Sorry, box. Can't leave you out. Now, when you're out there reading reviews on this fragrance or reading forum discussions about this fragrance, boy, there is a lot of different opinions on this one. This one seems to be like a true love or hate type fragrance. And man, it seems like everybody is taking their own ride with this one, getting something different out of it, to the point to where it's got me wondering if there's a Creed effect going on, like different batch variations or something. I don't know. But I have the 10 ml decant that Cornflake sent me. I've got the bottle now. Both are the same juice, so I don't know about that. Now, if you're out there looking, you can pull like a lot of notes from a lot of different places that could possibly be in this fragrance. I actually wrote L'Artisan Parfumeur twice to try and get like the exact note list in this one, and they weren't real helpful, not one bit. But whatever, I tried. So I'm just going to give you what I get out of this fragrance, get you the notes, give you the notes that I pull out of this stuff. And right away at the top, this one can throw you for a loop, because this fragrance is original and different. It's not something that I have come across, but you realize after time, after wearing it a few times, that really it's not so different. But that first blast, when you put it on, all them spices coming at you can kind of throw you back. You're like, whoa, what is going on with this juice? But stuff like that I kind of like. Stuff like that I find intriguing. And at the top of this, what I have going on is a mixture of 4 spices. I've got saffron being the dominant one. I've got cinnamon. Now a lot of people are like, cinnamon what? And I can understand where you're coming from there, but the cinnamon that I find in this is more of a transparent cinnamon, not a dense, edible one. A cinnamon where you pull yourself back from and smell it then. You know, it still has a bold quality to it, but it's not as dense, it's not as edible. Just more of a transparent type of cinnamon. And then I have pepper, and then I have cumin. Now, a lot of people get cumin at the top of this and complain about it being a BO smell. For me, nothing doing. I don't get that one bit at all. For me, the cumin in this is very, very buried. Just, it's the background spice way at the back, adding a little bit of a dirty edge to this fragrance. And the major player in this is the saffron. Now, I couldn't figure it out at first, because I've got lots of oils, and one of them has never been saffron. Saffron is very expensive juice, and for some reason, I just never went out and bought myself some saffron. Well, I said to hell with it. This time I had to get myself some saffron so I know just for sure what the hell saffron smells like. So I went and did it, pulled the trigger, got myself some saffron. And boy, when I opened up that jar of saffron and I took a whiff, I went, damn, that is Oud for sure. Holy smokes. Even smelling Oud right off the atomizer, saffron. That's all I get is a big, healthy dose of saffron with that transparent cinnamon, a little bit of pepper there, and just a little tiny dirty edge of cumin. Now, at the base of this fragrance, There is oud and there is leather. Just kind of an even mixture of leather and oud. And people talk about this fragrance not being an oud fragrance. You know, I used to think so, kind of, at first, but you really do get the woods in this fragrance. And the oud in this fragrance very much resembles the oud you find in Harrod's Oud. Granted, this is not an oud, bam, slam, in your face. This is the perfumer's interpretation of oud, so it's going to be mixed with other things. This is not a bam, slam, oud fragrance in your face, but the way that it's done so well with the spices and the leather, and there's also just a touch of rose in here to soften it up. And there's also tonka bean, but that tonka bean in here is very, very minimalistic. This is not a very sweet fragrance. This fragrance is very dry and very dusty. This one reminds me of like if you were sniffing potpourri. That's pretty much what Al Oud is like. And things that remind me of Al Oud definitely are potpourri, or we've got like this wing stack at work full of like pine candles and cinnamon candles for the holidays coming up. When you're up close, it does not smell like Al Oud, but when you're 3 feet away and you're walking by, you get that dusty, more transparent pine cinnamon smell. Boy, that really reminds me of Al Oud right there. And of course, we've got the cinnamon pine cones in at work, so the store's smelling great. That really reminds me of Al Oud right there. You got the spices, you got the wood quality from the pine cone. There's a leather effect going on there as well, which is just gorgeous. And when this fragrance travels throughout its life, basically when you hit the heart, for me, the saffron tames down, that transparent cinnamon quality picks up, the tonka bean gets a little bit more noticeable, but this never gets to be like a rich, overly sweet fragrance. So, this fragrance to me is just a beautiful, perfect fall, winter fragrance. And if you're looking for a fall, winter fragrance that's not done like a gourmand, like overly sweet, heavy on the amber, just heavy on the vanilla, heavy on the tonka bean. You want something different that's dry and spicy? Al Oud is definitely the frag for sure. This fragrance reminds me of, for me, like sitting on a 3-season porch on a beautiful fall day. You know, it's the sun is kind of covered up, the trees, they're all changing colors, there's leaves on the ground, you got family around you, you're cooking. You know, that's what Al Oud reminds me of, and I'm excited for the holidays coming up because I will be breaking out this one for sure. As far as projection and longevity, I appreciate this fragrance because projection it's not a monster. I consider this one to be average or maybe a little bit below, but with this one, it's very tasteful that way. You wouldn't want to be, you know, like a screamer. You wouldn't want this one to shout out because I think that it would become cloying to you. Just all that spice. So the way that this sits on my skin, I feel is just perfect, just beautifully fits its purpose, spectacular. And as far as longevity, I get about 8 to 10 hours out of this, and when it finally reaches the last stages of life, I'm pretty much left with a very dusty tonka bean, that transparent cinnamon type of flavor to it, and then she is done, and she gets rather quiet towards the end, but 8 to 10 hours out of a fragrance, that's a very long time. So Al Oud definitely does its job for me just perfectly. Now, as far as reviews in the community, well, on base notes, it's not in the fragrance directory yet. Come on! It was released in 2009. But on Fragrantica, this one fares more in the like range, and I have a feeling that some people might take their initial whiff of this, give it a bad name, and throw it away. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong, but I could see that happening for sure. This is definitely one that you have to wear for a while. You have to let it take you for a ride. You have to develop a nose to it. You have to learn from it. That's what I loved about this fragrance, for sure. Big learning experience, you know. With the cumin in this as well, I was so puzzled. Everybody was talking about cumin this, cumin that, BO, and I'm like, what the hell? Because I have got like cumin spice, so I'm smelling, I'm like, that smells like taco meat. I don't get taco meat out of Al Oud whatsoever, so I'm like, you know what? I do not have the oil. Sometimes the oil can be a little bit different. Let me order some oil. So I ordered some cumin oil. I open it up. Smells like taco meat. Like, what the hell? Now I can see where that taco meat edge could be gone, and in this fragrance, you know, there is just that dirty cumin effect there, but it's very, very, very subtle. A couple other facets I'd like to mention about this fragrance is at the top of this, the first few hours, there is just a slight dry fruit accord going on there with all the spices and the leather and the oud that's in this. Creates like just a very soft, smoky, incensey effect as well. And there's also just a pinch, just a touch, a tiny little drop of an animalic quality in this fragrance from the civet as well. But if you're out there and you haven't smelled it and you see the notes on this and you see civet and you're like, woo, stop there. I do not want an animalic fragrance. Don't worry about that. This is not animalic in your face whatsoever. You really have to go searching for it to find it. Basically, this fragrance is a spicy, woody, dry fragrance. Just like flippin' potpourri. Except for a fantastic potpourri at that. Alright, Cornflake, it's finally time, after all this months of waiting, time to find out what Amanda thinks about Oud. Woo! Take it out of the whip, babe. She actually wore this for one day.
I did.
That's right.
I did.
So, tell them your thoughts on Oud. Everybody's waiting.
Alright. I don't even know where to begin. Well, okay, so I wore it all day. And I will say this, I was in confined spaces, okay, so...
And I kind of sprayed a lot on her.
Yes, he did spray a lot on me. He
I said, I said, Amanda, what are you wearing today? She was leaving, and she says, nothing. I said, nothing? Get over here. Get over some Oud. I went to town.
Pretty much, she just sprayed all over. So I got my coat on, and me and my sister, she's having a baby. Yay! So if you've seen the Secretion Magnifique video, that's my sister. And so she's 8 months along. Yay, Ashley! So she is, so we went to her doctor's appointment. And, boy, I mean, we were in elevators and in the car and then, like, the hospital room. I mean, I was confined. So what it really smelled like was, I told Dan, I smelled like a flippin' tree bursting with pine cones and spices. So I'm like, I'm overwhelmed. Oh my gosh. I said, I'm like choking people. Actually, nobody really noticed. It was just myself.
So she was getting ready to, like, say bad stuff about it. And I said, yeah, don't rip on this fragrance just because I put too much on ya. That's
right. So, but other than that, I kind of thought that it was a really good smell. A really good smell. But I really like the dry down better. The dry down was much better. It wasn't overpowering like the initial spray was.
Does it smell like BO?
No, it doesn't smell like BO.
Does it smell like cumin, like taco meat?
No, not cumin. Like taco meat. I know what taco meat smells like. I would know this.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. She got the same thing, you know, like a pine tree, a pine cone, like with spices all over it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like right now with the holiday season, like where he works and then where I work, and I mean, it's just the pine cones are like saturated with like all these spices.
Yeah.
So like cinnamon and all this other stuff. I mean, it just smells like something that you would just have lying around, you know, not like lying around the house, but, you know, something decorated more for Christmas, more fallish, so that
that's me. I'm going to be decorated for Christmas. I'm going to be smelling like a sexy frickin' scented pine cone. Ha ha.
Well, there you go.
That's right. Wrap me up and unwrap me for Christmas.
So, I mean, other than that, I mean, it was overpowering for me, this, because he did overspray it, but other than that, the dry down wasn't all that bad, but I mean, I had like a heavy sweater on because he put it on my arms and everything. I was like,
oh my God, I totally forgot. How could I do that? I totally forgot to get into the compliment factor on this fragrance. How in the hell could I do that?
I don't know.
Like I was telling you, like every stinking day that I wore this stuff, no lie, I do not lie, at least 2 compliments every single day. And there was this one day that I got 5 in 2 hours. No lie. Everybody loved this stuff. Even my store manager, who I think likes to pick on me and tells me I stink all the time, she even gave me a compliment 2 days in a row. She was like, what are you wearing today? You smell good. And every day that I wore this stuff, compliments. This, well, I've worn it for a long time, but this is my highest complimented frag to date for sure. Everybody loved it. Perfect time of the year, though.
Yeah. I'd say it's definitely around like I don't know, late October, right around November, December, January. I mean, that's just kind of like the holiday smell.
Yeah.
But when you're in big crowded rooms, if you overspray yourself.
Yeah, don't overspray yourself
Just
with it.
one, and then just rub it all over.
One. One. Do 3 at least.
If you can do it, you can do it a lot. But man, it's just overpowering.
Do 3. 1. What do you think this is? This is not Wussy Town. This is Fumehead Town, baby.
Oh, sure.
That's right. Anyways,
alrighty.
That's it. This video's getting long enough.
Nice.
But finally, the review of Al Oud is over.
Woo!
So, as always,
All right.
check it out.
Check it out.
Thank you guys for watching. You guys take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye.